Topcoat.Daily. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at Zoya's new neon collection. It's called the Ultra Brites, and I picked this up as part of a special they were running on their website that included a top coat and a white base coat. Here's a quick comparison of the cool shades in this range, just to show you that there's not any dupes here. From left to right, it is Mira Jane, Evergreen, and JUVIA. And the warm colors from left to right, we have URSA, Kana, and Bisca. Again, no dupes here. And this is Purity. This is Zoya's white, and they included it in this special because it's meant to be worn underneath the neons, but I know not everybody likes to wear white undies under their neons, so I'm showing you the swatches with the white and without. And the set also included the Naked Manicure Glossy Seal, which is a top coat. It's a really nice top coat. It's actually pretty quick drying, so I'm just unboxing it here, and I was pretty impressed with this top coat, and it really helped the neons pop. Okay, first up is Kana, which is described by Zoya as a bright neon fuchsia, and I definitely agree with that. It's really bright. This is probably the brightest in the set here, so super bright hot pink color. And let's see how it applies onto my nails with and without the white base coat of Purity underneath. So all of my swatches are done the same in that I put Purity on my ring and pinky nail just to keep everything the same for the photos. But this is so bright going over that white. It's incredibly bright. It's also very bright over just my bare nails as well, but definitely doesn't pop quite as much. So here's what we have after the first coat. So here's the second coat, and the formula is going on really well. It's kind of a crelly consistency. All of these are kind of crellies, but really easy to apply, good formula, nice and smooth, no pooling, and it's a really good consistency. And all of these do dry matte as most neons do. And here's the third coat. This one did take 3 coats to become fully opaque. I really like that these polishes are very versatile and that you don't need to wear the white base coat, but it really makes it a little bit more bright for summer. Now here's the top coat. This makes such an incredible shine and really smooths out that color and makes it pop. So here's a still photo of Kana, and you can see on my pinky and ring nail that it's just a little bit brighter, but it is quite bright on its own on my other 2 nails. So I love this polish. I think it's so bright and fun and punchy. It kind of has a little bit of just nice squishiness and opacity kind of coming from the jelly-like crelly consistency. So love this one, highly recommend it. It's beautiful. Okay, next up is Bisca, and this is described as a hot pink neon. This one's kind of interesting. It does have a little bit of a coral feel to it, especially on the second coat. This one took 2 coats to become fully opaque. Directly over the white, it just looks like a classic hot pink. But over my bare nails, you can kind of see that coral color coming through a little bit. But again, no trouble with the consistency. It goes on very smooth, another crelly-like consistency. Okay, the second coat definitely deepens up that color a little bit and does make the coral leaning shade of this polish come out a little bit more. Okay, the second coat definitely deepens up that color a little bit, makes that coral undertone come out a little bit more. But I also really liked how this one looked over my bare nails. I thought it was really pretty. So here's my swatch photo of Bisca. I love this shade. I think it's so beautiful. There's not a huge variance between over the white and just over my bare nail. So if you're not looking for that super bright neon effect, you could probably skip the white base coat. But this is so beautiful. I think this is something everyone should have in their collection because it's just a staple in the summertime. So next up is URSA, which is described as a sunny red neon. And this is interesting. I don't have any other neon reds in my collection, so this one's a little bit more unique in that respect. So here's the first coat over the white base coat, and it does look a little bit more pink over the white, but I think that does deepen up a little bit into a true red on the second and third coats. This one did take 3 coats to become fully opaque. The red shade and undertone comes out a little bit more on my bare nails. Here's coat number 2, again deepening up that color, kind of brings it to a nice watermelon shade over the white base coat and more of a true red on my other nails. But this is so bright. I don't think I have any other reds in my collection that are this bright. So here's the third coat, and I love the shade that it ends up looking like over the white base coat. It's also beautiful on its own, so you wouldn't necessarily need the white base coat unless you were looking for a true neon effect. So here's the top coat, and it really makes that color pop. So here's my swatch photo of URSA, and it is so beautiful. I love this shade. I love reds. I'm a sucker for all things red, and this is definitely unique, and it's so bright. Again, there's not a huge difference between over the white versus on its own over my bare nails, so you could probably get away with skipping the white undies for this one. But it's still so bright and beautiful and deep and squishy and rich looking. I love this. I could go on and on. But if you like reds, I'd highly recommend this to you. Next up is JUVIA, which is described as a summery teal. And to me, this one just looks a little bit more of a bright blue. I don't get a lot of green undertones in this one, but let's see how it swatches. So here's the first coat, and over the white, it's really bright. It's like the exact color of a blue highlighter is how I would describe this. It's really pretty. Over my bare nail, it looks pretty sheer, but again, this is that curly consistency, and it is a little bit darker looking over my bare nails. And the consistency for this one is just like the others. It's nice and smooth, not too thick, not too thin, easy to apply. Here's the second coat. So the second coat doesn't really deepen up the color very much, but it does smooth it out and gives it a nice even look. It was just a tiny bit patchy after the first coat, especially over the white. It's still quite sheer over my bare nails, so this one does take 3 coats to become opaque. So here's the third coat. This one makes that blue really pop. It's such a bright blue, especially over the white. I also think it's beautiful on its own, but I prefer it over white in this case. This is one of the shades in the collection where I think the white base coat really does make a difference in the appearance of this polish. But the third coat here does get it to be opaque on my bare nails. There is still a tiny bit of visible nail line, but not so much that I would do a 4th coat. That would just be a lot. So here's the top coat, again bringing back that shine and that beautiful smooth look to all of the nails. So here's the swatch photo for JUVIA. Again, I would recommend the white base coat for this one because it really makes kind of a difference in the opacity. You don't have any visible nail line showing, but this is a beautiful shade. It is so bright and vivid, and it just jumps off of your nails and really pops. So I think this one is beautiful, and I really recommend it. Okay, next up is Evergreen, which is described as an electric green, and I think that's a good description. This looks just like a green highlighter, very bright and vivid. And this is actually the first neon green in my collection, so it's kind of a unique shade. You don't see it a whole lot, but here over the white, it is just so bright. This one just, it's kind of hurts your eyes to look at because it's just so insanely bright. So again, the consistency is good. It's smooth, not too thick, not too thin. It applies easily. Over my bare nails, it is beautiful. It doesn't look as bright. It definitely takes on a little bit more of a darker look, but it's still quite sheer. And here's the second coat. It really does kind of even out the surface. It was a little bit streaky over the white, but this really evens everything out. And I found overall with all of these colors, generally a thicker coat works better. Sometimes if you get too thin of a coat, it starts to kind of pull and drag at the coat underneath. So here's the third coat, and this brings it up to its full opacity over the white. It is still a little bit see-through on my bare nails, but again, it's kind of a curly consistency, so it kind of goes with the territory. But it is a beautiful color. Here's the top coat, and once the shine comes back, it just brings this polish back to life. It is so pretty. So here's the swatch photo for Evergreen. This is a really beautiful color. I like it over the white. I think it's worth taking the extra step to put the white down first, not only because it makes it brighter, but it just bumps up the opacity, makes it look really nice and even. This is just a beautiful shade. I think it's perfect for summer, and I can't wait to do some nail art with this color. Last but not least is Mira Jane, which is described as a classic navy neon, and I don't have any other neon navies in my collection. This one does have a little bit of a purple undertone that comes out a little bit more on the second coat. This one did take 2 coats to become opaque. I think just because it's so dark, it helps it reach opacity a little bit sooner, but it does go on pretty smooth over the white, especially given that it has a dark base. Sometimes white base coats can look a little bit chalky and uneven over such a dark color, but this one goes on really well. It's definitely a little bit darker over my bare nails, and you can see a little bit more of the purple undertone there. And here comes the second coat, and this does deepen up the polish a little bit and makes it look nice and smooth and opaque over the white. It does still look opaque on the bare nails as well. I think this is because it's just a darker color in general. It helps it look opaque a lot sooner. So here's the top coat, which really smooths out the surface of the nails and gives it a beautiful shine. This color has such a richness and depth to it. I think it's absolutely stunning, and I don't have anything like this in my collection. And here's the swatch photo for Mira Jane. This one is probably my favorite out of the collection. I just think it's so stunning. This is described as a navy, but I get more of a cobalt feel out of this, especially over the white. I think it's really bright and fun and punchy. I think this is perfect for summer. If you don't have anything like this in your collection, I would highly recommend this one. It is beautiful. Okay, so this concludes my review and live swatches of the Zoya Brites collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite and if you like it better over white or on its own. Let me know if you're going to pick any of these up. I love this collection as a whole. I think it's going to be a staple in my polished wardrobe for this summer and many summers to come, just because they're classic, bright, vivid neons, and you can't go wrong with that in the summertime. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Make sure to subscribe if you liked it so you can see lots more videos like this to come on my channel. And follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at peptalkdaily. Thanks again and have a wonderful day. Bye!